The Clock of Destiny. On the morning when it all began, Clara walked through the village, as she did every day, greeting the residents with a smile. Her life seemed to follow a predictable rhythm until, as she passed the clock tower, something peculiar happened. Time stood still for a brief moment, and she felt a shiver run through her spine. The clock's beats echoed with an unusual force, and Clara noticed that the large metal gear was still, stuck in a second that did not pass. Clara came to understand that the clock held the answers to her father's disappearance due to clues left behind in her father's journal. The journal described the clock as more than a mere timekeeping device. It was connected to an ancient mechanism capable of unlocking temporal secrets. Her father's last known research centered on the clock and its mysterious properties. Then Clara recalled cryptic comments her father had made about a time revealing all truths, and how his fascination with the clock grew more intense before he vanished. These clues, combined with her discovery of a hidden key inside one of her father's belongings that matched the clock's mechanism, convinced her that the clock was central to understanding his fate. So Clara climbed the narrow spiral staircase to the top. There, touched the frozen gears. The world around her warped, and she was transported back to the fateful night in which her father had disappeared. Clara found him near the forest, engaged in a discussion with unknown men. Instinctively, she screamed, warning him of a danger that he did not fully understand. With this, her father managed to escape, but the timeline began to bend. When Clara returned to the present, the village was unrecognizable. The houses that once breathed life were now in ruins, and the people who once greeted it warmly seemed distant and distrustful. The war that had ravaged the region was the result of a chain of events triggered by her father's survival, something she could never predict. Desperate to correct her mistakes, Clara returned to the tower and again found the mysterious old man. He revealed that he was the keeper of time and that many people had tried to alter the past, always facing severe consequences. Every choice creates waves. Clara. Time is a delicate balance. Changing an instant can change countless lives. Determined to solve the paradox, Clara tried countless times to return to the past. In each attempt, she tried to save her father differently, believing that there was a way to preserve the village and protect his family. However, each change brought unexpected consequences. Diseases that did not exist, friendships that were crumbling, stories that repeated themselves with tragic endings. A moment of despair, Clara collapsed on the floor of the tower. The guardian of time, with expression of weariness, approached her and said, The true power of the paradox is not only change, but the weight of its choices. You must decide whether to accept the past as it is or continue to try and face new uncertain futures. Finally, Clara made a painful decision. She returned one last time to the moment when she cried for her father, but this time, remained silent, watching him disappear into the shadows. When she returned to the present, the village was as before, simple and modest, but alive. Clara felt the weight of sacrifice, but she understood that some things could not be changed without major consequences. She never touched the clock again, but knew that every time it rang, she remembered the cost of trying to manipulate time. The paradox would continue to exist, but Clara had learned that living with her choices, however painful they were, was the real challenge of life.